Have you noticed how poorly people drive these days? More than 1,000 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each and every day, and teenagers are some of the biggest offenders. In this week's Know the Law segment, Tom Sinas is here to talk about texting and driving and some possible new laws to prevent it.
Couldn't be a more important topic to discuss this week, where we're trying to promote awareness of distracted driving with teenagers. And the numbers, as you mentioned, are staggering. 1,000 people a year across the country are injured, and you are 23% more likely to be in an accident if you're distracted, that is texting while driving.
You see people doing it all day long. On the highway, not staying in the lanes, barely doing the on-ramps, and they're looking at their phone.
That's right, and teens are the most likely to use their phone just because they use their phone so often. So let's talk about the law as it stands right now, so you can understand what the law may be going forward. In Michigan, there is a ban for everyone on reading, sending, or viewing a text message on your phone, okay? So no matter if you're an adult or a teenager, you cannot send or read text messages. The problem with that law, many people have said, is that it doesn't prohibit you from saying, play Pokemon Go on your phone.
Right.
Or looking at your Instagram account, because those are not text messages. And that's a very valid critique of the law. Teenagers right now are treated differently than adults. Teenagers, when they're on the first two steps of their graduated license, are prohibited entirely from using their cell phones. So the cell phones cannot be used at all for any application. But what people have come to realize is that distracted driving, and the numbers, as we've talked about, bear it out, make the situation dangerous for everyone. So we need a better law. We have to have a law that says more than just you can't read or send a text message. We've got to have a more meaningful law about the use of cell phones in the car. And so there's some folks in the legislature that are talking about introducing some of these bills towards the end of the year or maybe next session. I suspect that at some point we will have a different law on texting. But we are where we are right now. So what if you're a parent of a teenager? You have to have a very, very serious conversation with your teenager about what's going to happen with that phone. And you can't just say don't text.
Right.
You got to have a plan. I think you got to have a plan with your teenager that that phone is not anywhere in the teenager's reach while the teenager is driving the car.
A lot of Androids have the pull-down menu right from the top if you do the two-finger thing, and you can put it in car mode. And that stops the illegal activity right there.
That's right. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to say to your child, you know what? We're going to put in the trunk of the car an emergency phone, not your cell phone, but an emergency phone that will prepay with minutes, and you can use that to call us if something terrible happens. But when I give you the keys to the car, you give me the phone. And that, I think, is the safest way, because the temptation is always there, whether it's on the dashboard or in the passenger seat. And the thing that parents need to realize is that this is not only about protecting your kids, but it's about protecting other people.
And the liability involved.
That's right, because distracted driving causes really serious accidents. And what would happen if your teenager got involved in an accident and maybe they weren't hurt, but maybe they hurt someone else?
Right.
Your teenager could end up going to jail or going to prison. And you, as a parent, could end up being liable because you either owned the vehicle or because you didn't have this discussion with your teenager about texting. It's really serious.
If somebody wants to talk to you about this, if it's happened to them, they can call the law office.
Anytime. Grand Rapids, 616-301-3333. They can find us online at sinasdramis.com or send us an email at info@sinasdramis.com.
Tom, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Christian.